Hey YouTube Fragcom, welcome to another episode of Double S Sampling Samples. Today I'm going to be sampling from the house of Ferrari, and the particular fragrance I'm going to be sniffing out is Bright Neroli. No, this is not deja vu. If you have seen the video a few months back, I did initial impressions on this particular fragrance. That is the first step. The initial impression, where I let you guys know my first impression of a particular fragrance on my hand right away, and then we go to sampling samples, where I actually wear it a few times out and see what I get. So sampling samples, this is actually a sample from A Gentleman's Journey, Chad, a fellow Canadian, fellow fragrance reviewer, great guy. I actually almost annihilated this sample. This thing was full. It's down to here now. I really enjoyed this sample, Chad. Thank you very much, and I hope you enjoy this video because it's going to be a positive one. So Bright Neroli, the House of Ferrari, not too much experience in my regard. I'm not ashamed to say that I haven't tried out a fragrance or a fragrance house. Ferrari was not really on my radar unless I really just stumbled upon them, which I never did. And I never really was interested in the House of Ferrari. Never really heard anything positive. I kind of put it in the whole Michael Jordan, that kind of brand. Really nothing to get my attention until they released this Essence brand. Bright Neroli, I want to check out that Fig one too from this brand. So let's get into sampling samples of Bright Neroli. I'm starting to babble, so let's get into it. The big notes in this particular fragrance: Neroli, obviously orange blossom, bitter orange, and vetiver has a part in this particular fragrance too. But as you can see in the big notes, very uplifting, very juicy, very citrusy. So let's get into my impressions. So it starts off very juicy, very creamy, and authentic Neroli from what I come to expect. Neroli has that really juicy, creamy, and very authentic in this fragrance. I was actually very surprised, and from my initial impression video, this hasn't changed a bit. From the initial impressions, I was actually really surprised with it. I was really impressed. I still am with wearing it on my skin. The Neroli paired with the other citruses truly made this a great citrus-based scent. It's very uplifting and in your face. Once it dries down, the citrus keeps pushing, which is a feat in the citrus game. A lot of these citrus-based fragrances, the citrus truly fades really quickly. There is a lot of citrus-based notes in this fragrance, so that's perhaps why it just kept on pushing, but I really like that. There is some vetiver and some rosemary that I noticed while wearing this that I didn't get in the initial impression. Those come out in the mid base of this fragrance, kind of giving a little more depth to the fragrance. However, they were very mild, and the opening notes were still the primary notes in this particular fragrance. So the rosemary and vetiver, a welcome addition to that opening, kind of gave the fragrance a little more oomph. Fairly linear fragrance, to be quite honest. There isn't much that, my initial impressions video is pretty much the same as the sampling samples. There's not much more to tell you guys as far as this fragrance. Now, easily worn in the office. I wore this actually a little bit more than I usually do just because I had a huge sample. Wore it in the office a couple days as my scent of the day. Very inoffensive, can be worn. Really, actually, I felt casually and dressed up. I really feel like Neroli is a scent that has class to it, especially when done right. Neroli has a creaminess to it that almost kind of like Iris does. Iris has that upscale feel. Ziad, case in point. So Neroli Portofino, same thing. I got it right here, Neroli Portofino. This is actually compared to this fragrance right here, and I'm going to let you guys know a little tidbit about that. This stuff is actually high-end. If you can find it for under $100, I would recommend getting this if you like Neroli. This is named aptly, like they named it really well. It is a very bright fragrance, and it is a Neroli based fragrance. So named after the juice, very well done. It describes it to a T. So the staying power in this fragrance, which is something that is cause for concern when you're looking at car-based fragrances, sometimes really made cheaply. They last a couple hours, they fade. This one actually performed well on my skin. especially for a citrus. You're thinking 3 to 4 hours. No, this is like 6 to 8 hours for a citrus. Really well done. No complaints here as far as the longevity goes. The projection was more average to high, which is also impressive for this kind of fragrance. After a few hours, hitting the 2 to 3 hour point, then the projection, instead of being high, it's more of an average scent as far as the projection goes. But really impressive overall. The scent's good. It does last on your skin. If you can find it for under $100, I would say pull the trigger. The good things about this fragrance, the neroli note, really well done. The blend's really good. And the surprise from the House of Ferrari. Surprise, surprise. That really still impresses me. I'm surprised on how good this one is. And this little sample right here, Chad, made me realize that I want to go check out Noble Fig. I want to go check out their oud-based fragrance. I want to go check out their leather-based fragrance. So I'm this close to get the leather-based fragrance. Just blind buy it. I don't freaking care. So if the leather-based fragrance is just as good as this one, I'm going to be a happy camper. The bad things about this fragrance, it was fairly linear. There's not much going on. Again, my initial impressions and my sampling samples is almost the exact same video, unless I give you guys projection, longevity, and things like that. And, my experience with the fragrance a little bit more in sampling samples, but nothing really more to report. The only thing that was really new within the wearings is once it dried down, the rosemary and vetiver showed up, but they're very subtle. The citrus is the star of the show. The neroli is the star of the show in this fragrance. It doesn't have much backbone to it. You are going to notice that this fragrance can almost get lost on you. It will get, even though it has good longevity and projection, some wearings it was kind of getting lost on my skin, and I felt like basically after 3 hours it was gone. But most of the wearings, I'm really, really impressed with the longevity and projection. That goes to Final Take Bottle Worthy, another sample or a pass. This fragrance, Bright Neroli by Ferrari, is bottle worthy. I'm happy I got a sample. I got my nose on it. I'm actually kind of regretting that I've worn so much for sampling samples, but I got a little bit left, and trust me, this is on my radar to get a full bottle. I'm trying to find one for around $70 to $60. If I can pull the trigger American for this fragrance, I will, or buy a half bottle or split it or something like that. That is worth it for designer pricing. And that goes to a star rating, 1 being poop and 5 being not poop. It would be a 4-star fragrance from Sampling Samples by Ferrari. Very good score for a fresh fragrance, first of all, and from the House of Ferrari. You guys know me. 4 stars for this one. Really, really excellent scent. And that goes to you guys. Please comment below if you've had any experience with this essence line from the House of Ferrari. I'd like to hear your take. Do you agree with me? If you smelt this fragrance, please comment below. Let me know if you agree or even disagree. If you think it's a shitty fragrance and I'm way off base, I welcome that comment. Thank you for watching, guys. Have a good one.